Hey guys, how's it going? And thanks for coming. I'm Nick, and this is Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money, because you know schools aren't. Don't forget to subscribe, so let's get started. So guys, in this video, I wanted to go over one of my best investments that I guess I've ever made. I really wanted to go over this for a couple different reasons. Whether people should sell it, want to just talk about it, what you guys think. And it's very interesting, but at the same time it is very scary because of what's going on with it. So quick backstory, I had this stock for coming up on 2 years now. In a couple months it's going to be 2 years, and I made over 100% on it. I think it's pushing over like 130% at this point. But it's just going crazy. Now, everyone knows this company. It's like, unless you've been living under a rock, or if you're Amish, because I guess they don't know technology stuff, but it's not one of those companies like a small company that no one knows about, and it just doubles, and just a select few make huge amounts of money off it. Everyone knows this. The stock that I'm talking about, guys, is Amazon. The online giant that's just been crushing everything, and it's been amazing. So I personally got Amazon stock around 2 years ago, like I said, the day Trump got elected. Now, whether you like him or not, whatever, I'm not going into that. It's not important for me. But the day Trump got elected is when like people were going nuts, thinking the world was going to end because he was going to office, and Amazon dropped. And I found that to be an opportunity. So I got in that day. I think it was just under $800. And if you haven't been following them recently, they're around $1,800 now. So they have huge growth behind them, especially in 2017. Great year in the market. If you were an investor at all in 2017, you made money. Even beginners making like 50% returns, thinking that they're geniuses because they got that. It wasn't that difficult to lose money in 2017. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a genius, but I'm a little skeptical just because it's not that easy to make money all the time, especially like a year in 2017. Even look at this year, 2018 has been rough. And that's why I want to talk about this specific company. Now, since I got in there, it's really been all upside. There was maybe like 2 hiccups over the past 2 years. 2017, there was no hiccups. But in the beginning of 2018, in February, was when the correction happened. The overall market dropped around 10%. Now, what was really strange was the market dropped heavily, but Amazon not as much. Amazon might have dropped, I don't even remember. It wasn't that significant, maybe like 5%, maybe pushing 10%, but then it quickly rebounded. So that correction, it really wasn't a problem. It was like a speed bump. So that was like the first hiccup Amazon had. Then the second was when Trump was attacking Amazon. He was talking about how he really didn't like them, how the post office should be charging more for Amazon shipping. So that was bad press. That made Amazon get hit more than even the correction, I think. But then once that passed over, just like basically everything else does, it can continue going higher, especially now it's like a straight line up almost. Now, if you're involved with the stock market at all, if you've been watching my videos, other people's videos, a lot of people have been talking about them, especially with their high PE ratios. PE ratio over 200, forward PE ratio, I think it's like around 90. It's just astronomical numbers. And in the back of a lot of our minds is that idea of be fearful when others are greedy and being greedy when others are fearful. It seems like a lot of people are being greedy with these types of stocks. Not only with Amazon, but especially recently with Netflix. Now, these two are similar just because their growth has been phenomenal. Netflix has rose 100% just this year alone. In the past, it's been like 6-7 months, and it's up 100%. So it's increasing parabolically, and even I've been questioning, like, that can't go on. And recently, why I started creating this video today, I don't know when I'm releasing this video, but I'm recording it July 17th, is when they released their earnings. They dropped after hours over 10% in one day. They were down maybe like 12-14% after hours. Then when the market opened, they were down like 10%, and they rebounded like back up to 5% just because people thought that was a buying opportunity. We'll have to see. But this type of volatility should be expected. We have to realize that things can't keep going up and up and up and up. Yet there has to be a reversion back to the mean sometimes. There has to be some type of down. Look back to Bitcoin. I'm not saying I'm a professional, I'm not saying I'm an expert or a genius or anything, but if you were any type of investor and looked at Bitcoin, you knew that was some type of bubble, and then guess what? It crashed. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't have a future, but it did crash because it was going higher and higher, higher every single day, which is kind of what Netflix has been doing and Amazon as well. Now, here's what sucks, guys. I love Amazon. The company itself is incredible. The growth is there. It's not like it's a bad company. Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, is fantastic. Very intelligent guy. But the stock is freaking expensive. The price is so high, and that's the difference. There's a huge difference between price and value. I think a lot of beginning investors don't understand this because when they see, let's say, like Amazon, when I got in, they saw $800. They saw that as expensive, and they might see a stock worth $10. They might think a $10 stock is more worth it than Amazon at $800. That is not the case. Believe it or not, you could have a stock that's like $200, and that has a better value than a stock at $10, because that $200 stock could have the growth behind it and could grow to $300, so it's actually inexpensive, let's say, versus a $10 stock could be expensive because maybe it had a recent run up, it's really high, and then it's going to get cut in half, so it's actually better to get a $200 stock than a $10 stock. But just because a stock keeps going up and up and up and higher doesn't mean that the valuation is unlimited. So let's just assume we knew the valuation of Amazon. No one does, but let's say we knew, let's say it's $1,500. Why would you pay $1,800 for Amazon stock when it's worth, I'm not saying it is, just imagine, it's worth $1,500. It wouldn't make sense. Now, I'm not going into any financials with Amazon just because, to be completely honest, it doesn't really matter. It keeps going higher and higher and higher because there is growth behind it. Don't get me wrong, it's not like a garbage company. But Amazon, Netflix, these type of growth companies, they're in their own little world. Obviously, you could see their PE ratio. They might seem overpriced and overvalued, but they continue going higher. That's why you can't even assume what's going to happen. They make their own rules. That's what's going on with them. Now, I remember reading some comments on some videos, some of my videos, where people are saying that Amazon stock is completely safe, that you don't have to worry about it. And first of all, no stock is safe. Just because Amazon is growing ridiculously, it's a huge company, that doesn't make it safe. No stock is safe. Anything could happen to it, unfortunately, but that's just how it goes. And just as a stock could go up quickly, it could go down just as quick. So you have to realize that. And I might feel like I'm going on and on and on about this, but I want to assure people that even existing investors, beginning investors, because we get caught up in this amazing world of upward momentum, and that might not always be there. So the main thing is I would want to know what you guys think of these type of stocks, maybe with Netflix, maybe with Amazon. Do you think they're they are overvalued. We can't really disclaim that. We can't deny that at all. But what do you think's going to happen? Or what would you do? Do you want to get in? If you have some, what would you do? Personally, I do have shares. I'm still holding them. I do love the company. But what am I going to do? Now, I do think that Amazon is going to continue to grow. It is a good long-term investment in my opinion. And I'm talking like 5-10 years out, probably more. But in the short term, I would expect some type of decline. So would it be a good idea to shave off a couple of shares? Maybe, maybe not. There are a couple factors to that. Since I got in so low relative to right now, if I sold and let's say it goes down and I got in when it goes back down, I'm getting in technically at a higher level. So if I'm a long-term investor, personally, I don't think it would really make sense to sell at here, buy back when it's slightly lower, and then continue. Now, whether that would make sense or not, the main problem with it would be, would you ever get back in? A lot of people try to time the market. Everyone talks about this, I know, but it's important because if you wait for a stock to go down and people say, oh, I'm going to buy on the dip, are you really? You know, like think back to the correction. That was a correction, that was a dip. Did you buy during that? If you didn't because it was scary and the world was coming to an end, what makes you think that we're going to buy on the dip when an actual crash with real fear behind it is going to happen? So a lot of times we kind of just like hold off on it while it keeps going up and up and up, and we just hesitate and don't get back in until it's even higher than when we sold it at. So overall, it just would have been easier to hold it. So there are a lot of different strategies to this, guys. I would definitely like to know if you have Amazon stock, or if, let's say you had it, what would you do? Like, it is great to take the profits and not like completely lose them if they go down. So I just wanted to get your minds going. I really wanted to talk about this. If I would like to start a dialogue of what we think is going on, because it kind of did happen with Netflix. It did drop, but that doesn't mean it was like a bad investment. You know, Netflix was up 100%. If it goes down 10, it's still up ridiculously, so it's not like it was a bad investment. I don't know how long I've been going on, but there are just like so many different perspectives to look at this. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below, because I would like to get a good perception of what the community thinks. And to make it even more interesting, Amazon has earnings at the end of July. So that could make it either pop even more or drop like Netflix did. So that's another story starting to come down the road. There were a bunch of concepts in here, guys. So hopefully something helped you out, triggered your mind to think a little bit differently. That was, I guess, ultimately my goal for this video. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. I do have an Instagram account for some bonus content. So I'll see you guys in the next one.